Let's get it on.
It is the new Vicious Wrestling Observer Live on Saturday. 1-800-878-PLAY, 1-800-878-7529. We are live and also new and vicious 7 days a week. That's new and vicious Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. New and vicious Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. And Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, with the new and vicious Jim Valley here on the new and vicious Wrestling Observer Live. In case you were wondering, I am not one of Rocky Johnson's illegitimate children. My mom was Canadian and in Vancouver around the same time as Rocky, but to be sure, I checked 23andMe, not the website. 23andMe is the title of Rocky Johnson's autobiography. 23, yeah. He had a lot of illegitimate children. Good God, Rocky, what a frickin' carny. Coming up on the new and vicious show, Money in the Bank. Also the Maximum Male Models. Like 15 years too late. What? A lot of people were offended. I'm not offended. I thought it was fine. I think Max Dupree is talented, but it's like Tim Gunn isn't even on TV anymore, and we've got Maximum Male Models. Also, the new and vicious Viking Raiders. Did you hear that they're new and vicious? Now with shields. They're just like Malibu Stacy. What's new? She has a hat. I can't wait for the action figures. Also, why do the Viking Raiders have the same eyeshadow as Ronda Rousey? This week, WWE signed Logan Paul. He was awesome at WrestleMania, but if you're a fan of his, you turn on SmackDown. What are you going to think of Vince's Boomer Entertainment? The world is changing, but WWE is not. We'll talk about that. We'll preview Money in the Bank, Rampage, and so much more on this patriotic Canada Day and 4th of July weekend. It's Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live.
Do you love driving?
You're clear.
Don't love your car payment? Open Road Lending can reduce your car payment by as much as $100 a month or more. It's easy to refinance your car payment. Just call today to get your no-obligation quote and find out how much you can save. To qualify for a lower car payment, your car should be less than 10 years old, have less than 125,000 miles, and you've made at least 6 on-time payments. Call Open Road Lending today to learn how you can lower your rate and your payment by refinancing. It's easy, only takes a few minutes, and there's no cost or obligation to apply and get approved. Call today and see how much you can save. 800-871-9417. 800-871-9417. 800-871-9417. That's 800-871-9417. Terms and conditions apply. Financing is available with approved credit. See openroadlending.com for details. Are you tired of paying hundreds of dollars or more every month for your family's health benefits? Would you pay as little as $10 a week to save more money on your health care visits? You'll save on dental care, chiropractic visits, telehealth visits, vision care, medical lab work, and much, much more. All of this for one low fee of around $40 a month for your entire family. AmeriPlan has been providing Americans with fantastic discount health plans for 30 years. Have access to 250,000 high-quality health providers. Even if you have health insurance, you need to have an AmeriPlan discount health plan. And again, for less than $40 a month, your entire family is covered. Best thing you can do is make a free call right now and learn about how our Platinum Plan can help you with your healthcare needs for as low as $40 a month. 800-723-2391. 800-723-2391. 800-723-2391. That's 800-723-2391. Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out while homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value. You can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or more, now is the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to use your savings. Call New American Funding now and see how much cash out you can get. Call 800-209-6124, 800-209-6124, 800-209-6124. That's 800-209-6124. NMLS 6606. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. This is not an offer or commitment to lend. Subject to borrower and property qualifications. Not all borrowers will qualify. Terms and conditions apply. Equal housing opportunity.
You're listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
1-800-878-7529. Or you can tweet me at Jim Valley. We're also live on my YouTube channel. You can just Google Jim Valley, and it'll come up if you want to do that. I do this each and every Saturday. I may or may not be live next Saturday. I'm not sure. I'm going to be in Florida. If I am live, we'll do it over Skype, and I may have a special treat for you. I'm going to be at the house of pro wrestling reporter Scott Fishman, who's a great guy. I'll see if I can get him on the air, and we'll do a show maybe next week from Palace Day, Scott Fishman in Florida. If we can make it work, we'll see what happens there. But I've got 2 new podcasts up this week at WrestlingObserver.com. Not that you know that. Not that they ever get promoted, but that's okay. I'm not bitter about it. Not angry about it. Anyway, Fumi Saito gives his observations on Forbidden Door, the Stardom pay-per-view, and Tajiri has a brand new book out that Fumi helped translate into English. That's all on the new Pacific Rim. Mike Sempervivi's in the YouTube chat saying, I understand. I hear you, Semp. I hear you. I feel you. I feel you on that, dog. It's like, I don't know. At least people aren't taking your podcasts from you. At least I'll say that. But anyway, the body wasn't even cold yet. I'm still not cold, am I? No, I'm not. Anyway, then I talked about Tough Tony Bourne versus Lonnie Main, probably the biggest feud in Portland wrestling history. And my friend Frank Culbertson was a kid and was at Portland Memorial Coliseum, along with about 8,000 other fans back in 1968. Some great history. Also talking about the new Portland wrestling book called Katie Bar the Door. It's all of the new Portland WrestleCast. Both are free at WrestlingObserver.com. Did you know that? All of the shows, except Dave and Brian stuff, which is great. Everything else is no longer behind a paywall. Did they make a big deal about that? I'm not aware that they did. Anyway, I still have my Wrestling Observer Live on Saturday. I guess it's the one show that nobody wanted, because you don't have to get up early, because you have to get up early. And now there's so much wrestling you got to watch. And it all ends at like 10 and 11 o'clock. Then you got to get up early and write the show. I see why nobody else wants this show. They want all my other shows, but not this show, which is fine, because I love this show. This is my little corner. I can still do radio. I can still do what I do, whatever it is I do. Anyway, this is Saturday. It's a holiday weekend. I think from what I can tell, most of you listen and download this later. And so because of that, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Money in the Bank. One of the reasons people watch wrestling is to see what's going to happen. What's going to happen when Sting finally faces Hollywood Hulk Hogan when John Cena faces off against The Rock, when Roman Reigns faces off against Brock Lesnar, when Roman Reigns faces off against Brock Lesnar, when Roman Reigns faces off against Brock Lesnar, when Roman Reigns faces off against Brock. You get the idea. Well, that's the problem with Money in the Bank. It's pretty predictable. In a world of WWE disposable entertainment, it is really the Kleenex of pay-per-views. Did WWE build up Ronda Rousey and bring her back and pay her all this money so Natalya can beat her? No, of course not. Did WWE build up the Usos and the Bloodline so the Street Profits can can beat them and go on to greener pastures? Of course not. And understand, that is not a knock on the talents who are the Street Profits. Montez Ford is great, and Dawkins holds up his end of the bargain. And the Usos and the Street Profits was a strong segment last night on SmackDown. But like Natalya, WWE booking has taught us, unfortunately, that the Street Profits lose. Not in real life. They're not real life losers. They're awesome. But when it comes to wins and losses, the Street Profits are losers. The United States Championship match, Theory versus Bobby Lashley. Both Lashley and Theory are winners. In this match, the loser is the U.S. Championship. That's a loser belt. Lashley is above the U.S. title. The only reason he'll get the title is if they want it off Theory before he faces John Cena at SummerSlam. But either way, Theory's going to win this match. The Raw Women's Championship match, Bianca Bel-Air versus Carmilla. Really? Don't waste my time. I like the Carmilla character. She's got some charisma and some presence, but they didn't spend all this time and money to build up Bianca Belair to feed her to Carmilla. Not a chance. SmackDown Women's Championship, Ronda Rousey versus Natalya. Come on. The women's Money in the Bank, again, a lot of talent, but I think it's pretty obvious Becky Lynch is going to cash in, win the championship, so she can chase Bianca Belair. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match, that's really the only question on the card. A lot of people think Rollins will win and recreate his WrestleMania 31 cash-in at SummerSlam after Roman and Brock Lesnar's last man standing match. That is possible. But for me, if I got to pick somebody, I'm picking Drew McIntyre. I think then he stands in the ring and calls his shot in front of the hometown crowd at Clash at the Castle. Now, this is not a prediction, but if you want my thoughts, if I was booking, I would have the Usos and maybe even Roman Reigns come out and help Sami Zayn win, and then have Sami taunt everyone for a few weeks, maybe even a month or two. And then eventually he gets cocky and loses the briefcase to Drew. And again, you go to Clash at the Castle. That might be entertaining. And look, I take nothing away from the talent. The roster is filled with incredibly talented individuals. It's going to be a good show. It's just going to be incredibly predictable and not too hard to figure out. But it's on a Saturday because it's a 4th of July patriotic weekend. I think it's going to be a good show. I take nothing away from the talent. But my God, I'm watching SmackDown. It's the World Boomer Federation. We'll talk about this Boomer Vision coming up next. It's Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live, Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
You're clear.
I'm right behind my back.
Are you looking to start a business? From side hustles to major business opportunity? Franchise 123 connects franchise buyers with sellers. And we have over 4,000 franchises for you to choose from. In one simple 30-second call, our live agents will sign you up to the platform. This is not a hard sales call either. We give you free access to our database. Yes, free access, no cost. We are the largest online franchise database in the world. You can find 95% of all businesses. Buying a franchise doesn't have to be complicated. We make it easy. And right now, some have no startup fees. You can turn your special skill into a franchise business or go full scale with all the top franchise businesses in the world. Sign up with Franchise 123 now and get your free guide to franchise success now. Call 800-433-0539, 800-433-0539, or text Franchise 123 to 63566. Text Franchise 123 to 63566.
All right,
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Do you own a timeshare? Well, face the facts. You made a mistake. You made a bad purchase. A timeshare is not an investment. It's a money pit that continues forever. If you use your timeshare, that's great. But if you don't, and you want to legally get out of your contract, call my friends right now at the Timeshare Exit Hotline. They're an experienced team of lawyers who help good people like you get out of a timeshare contract that they just don't want. Don't throw away your money on maintenance fees. Use it for things you really want. We can help you end your timeshare contract and stop the money drain immediately. If you're ready to move on with your timeshare, call our team right now.
Cancel your timeshare now with a free call. 800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. That's 800-824-5131.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
1-800-878-PLAY. 1-800-878-7529. It's Jim Valley, and it's Wrestling Observer Live. Hope you're enjoying this 4th of July Canada Day weekend. I celebrate both. My mother was Canadian, so we'd often go up to Vancouver or Victoria, see the fireworks, come back, celebrate the 4th of July as well. Wherever you're celebrating with your loved ones, doing it in a safe manner. Well, anyway, I mentioned Money in the Bank tonight in Las Vegas, talking to friends of mine. You know, there's some buzz for the show, but not like a lot. I don't know. I was watching SmackDown and the whole thing with Logan Paul, and I think Logan Paul can be an asset to WWE, but let me say this up front. The WWE roster is filled with incredibly talented individuals. People like Seth Rollins, Asuka, Matt Riddle, Becky Lynch, Sami Zayn, Natalya. You know, I know some people don't like him, but even people like Happy Corbin. I like Happy Corbin. I think the way he works the crowd is oftentimes brilliant. And I want to make a clear distinction. The performers in WWE are some of the best in the industry. And I have nothing but respect for their abilities, the time they put in, the bumps they take, the miles, the wear and tear on their bodies, and the perfecting of their craft. I could not do what they do. As individuals, they have my utmost respect and admiration. As I watched SmackDown last night, all I could hear was Vince's voice in everything. A good old-fashioned battle royal. The new vicious Viking Raiders. How many times did we have to hear the new vicious Viking Raiders? Even Pat McAfee had to say it. The individual that is supposed to be Pat McAfee, the guy who's supposed to be out there, he's the outlier. And even he has got to be a marionette, one of Vince's puppets, saying the new vicious Viking Raiders. The tantalizing quote, I don't know, whatever it was, I don't even care, for the maximum male models. You know, it's like this whole, whatever you want to call it, this affair situation has emboldened him more than usual. His voice and perspective, his stamp on this product seems even stronger than usual. I look around and I see the world changing. God, I wish I could swear on the radio right now. I effing love it. I turned 53 years old about 2 weeks ago. Look, and I'm reaching the age where marketers say that I'm not going to try new things, that I'm set in my ways. And look, maybe that's going to happen. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe the concrete in my life is hardening. And look, maybe I'm becoming a bitter old man. I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm not going to tell kids to get off my lawn. You know, the older I get, the angrier I get. Not at kids. Everybody has their time. Go make your mistakes. Go have fun. Go do what you do. I did it. You should do it. It's your frickin' rite of passage, by God. I'm mad at the boomers. They had the numbers. They got their way. They have gotten their way for so frickin' long. They think that that's the way the world is. And there's no different way of doing things. You know, they love their cars. They came of age in the time of cars and roads. So that's why here in Seattle, we don't have transit. We've got roads. Japan, Europe, they've got trains and light rail and fast trains, bullet trains. But no, not here. Not because of the boomers, because they love their frickin' cars. Just as an example, you know, decades of boomers having their self-congratulations parties. And I'm frickin' sick of it. The younger generations are now changing the rules that fit them. And I frickin' love it. The boomers are getting mad. They're gripping with their last vestiges to try to shape the world. Well, guess what? It's not your way anymore. And I just hope, through all my sickness, that I live long enough to see it frickin' change. It's not going to be my generation. I don't even care if it's right or wrong. You know, God bless him. And I want to make another thing perfectly clear. I do not think that Jim Cornette is racist. I do not. He is not. And if you listen to his show, he's just a 60-year-old boomer. He has some changes, some things, but he's very set in his ways with wrestling. There's nothing wrong with that. But the people who grew up watching wrestling now didn't grow up with Gilligan's Island, didn't grow up with Lost in Space. They grew up with new things. And they grew up with Nickelodeon. They grew up with Rugrats. And the new things that are old, the new nostalgia. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, the video game. Not Space Invaders. You know, I'm wearing my Atari Adventure shirt right now. I grew up with Atari. And that's cool. But I love, and when I worked in radio, I tried to teach the boomers that Seattle was changing, that it was no longer the jet city, that it was technology, that it was Amazon, that it was Microsoft, that it was Yahoo, that it was Facebook. But no, the boomers in charge wouldn't do stories on that because they're boomers, because things have got to be their way. And I watch SmackDown, getting back to wrestling. Maximum male models. And again, Max Dupree, Eli Drake, whatever you want to call him. He's freaking talented. Mansoor, whatever you want to call him. He has shown a lot of charisma and versatility in every role he's been given in WWE. He's very likable. Mace, great body, great look. I think he's got some charisma. I can't really tell. The jury's still out on him. We'll see his progress in the next few weeks. But maybe he's got something. I'm not sure. And I'm not being too critical of the talent who's doing their best with what they've been given. But maximum male models is a gimmick for someone who's not paying attention. Project Runway was popular like 15 years ago. 15, Tim Gunn isn't even on Project Runway anymore. And when I go out, I see people dressed in more colorful ways than Mansoor and Monsay, or however you say his name. Whatever. I'm just going to call him Mace. Are they heels because they're metrosexual and effeminate? I don't know. That's a very dangerous line. I don't know that that's a good idea. Is it because they're vain and have high opinions of themselves? Dude, that's everyone on Instagram. It's just an example of Vince and world boomer entertainment. Look at Theory, the big young talent who they want to get behind. And I think it's a great idea to get behind young talent. He looks to be heading to a showdown with John Cena at SummerSlam. In the age of TikTok, what's Theory's gimmick? He takes selfies. Again, 15 years behind. Selfies are not a novelty. Look at Xia Li. She's an anime character because that's the way Boomer Vince sees Asians. Look at Jira, Kushida, with the exception of Asuka, maybe Nakamura. And Asuka doesn't count because Asuka's a freaking wrestling genius. They're just these stereotypes. Wrestlers are characters. And by their own right, they have to be certainly stereotypical. They can't be too deep. It's freaking wrestling. But WWE, Asians are not represented well, in my humble opinion. Compare Asians and compare Forbidden Door, one of the greatest shows of all time. Seriously. World Boomer Entertainment. I wish Vince a long life. I wish him no ill will, but by God, get some young eyes on the phone. Your thoughts. You can tweet me at Jim Valley or 1-800-878-PLAY. 1-800-878-7529. It's Jim Valley Sports Byline Broadcasting.
How is your car payment treating you? What if I told
You're clear.
make a free phone call right now and reduce your car payment by as much as $83 a month? Look at your car payment closely. You could be paying as high as 20% interest. Rate Genius can help you reduce your car payments by reducing your interest rate to as low as 2.48% APR. We can refinance most existing car loans or leased cars, new or used, and save you money every month. Put more money back in your pocket. The call is free to find out how low we can lower your car payment. 5 minutes of your time right now could save you hundreds of dollars a year. Call Rate Genius now.
800-811-7913. 800-811-7913. 800-811-7913. That's 800-811-7913.
Not all applicants qualify for a loan or rate savings. Actual offer terms, including APR, are determined at the time of your application based on creditworthiness, value of the vehicle, loan term, and other factors.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-215-6812. 800-215-6812. 800-215-6812. That's 800-215-6812.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. That's 800-915-9654.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Looking at the YouTube chat, people reminded me about Yoshirai. It's been in NXT forever. Color, where in the world is the Yoshirai? She hadn't even been on NXT featured that much. Think about this. I would make the argument over the past few years, arguably the best wrestler in the world, bell to bell, Io Shirai, hidden in NXT. All this time wasted. Because of what? Because Boomer Vince has this mindset of what a wrestler has to do. A wrestler doesn't necessarily have to cut 12-minute promos. She doesn't have to do that. She gets over by her in-ring ability. Plus, she looks cool as hell. She's an attractive woman. People will also find her attractive, believe it or not. It's not the same thing. But don't get me wrong. Do you think Vince even knows that there's a Korean Asian boy band that are sex symbols? That would probably blow his mind. That there are young, white American girls who think young Korean boys are sex symbols and they have posters of them on their walls. I'm just saying, it's a different world now. A lot of these things, these tropes that used to matter, don't matter anymore to upcoming generations. And it is a great frickin' thing. To quote wrestling, it's a new day. And I just wish WWE would. I give them credit. The Pride stuff has been great. I give them a lot of credit for that. But there's still a ways to go. Rampage Friday night, Brody King won a 2-ring, what they call it, a Rampage Royal. Or as I would call it, not an old-fashioned battle royal, to become the next contender for Jon Moxley. I think he's a great choice. You know, he's not going to beat Moxley, but it's going to elevate him. He's kind of been in a henchman role. Brody King is great. It'll give him a spotlight. I'm sure he'll lose, but he'll have good matches. It'll elevate him being in the ring with Mox. And also, he eliminated Darby Allin, so it's like, it's a good win. He beat a star like Darby Allin. You know? Someone also mentioned Semper Vivi, you're right. God, Semp, I wish I had your memory. My memory is shot to hell. You know, talking about the Gail King story, Gail Kim from JR a long time ago. You know, exactly. It's just, I don't know. Also, on Rampage, Tony Storm beat Nyla Rose, and afterwards, Marina Shafir attacked Tony Storm, and Thunder Rosa made the save, and they talked about a thunderstorm. Kind of a punny name, but why not? I'll take it. And Nyla Rose gave a great promo over the past 3 years. I feel like Nyla has still been kind of finding her voice as the native beast. And Friday night, it's only taken 3 years, but Nyla Rose nailed it. Now look, in my opinion, Nyla Rose is an important character in AEW and pro wrestling. And I'm not sure if she completely understands how important she is. There are times in the past, especially in the beginning, when she's done commentary and she sounds like a cool person to like hang out with and like binge watch a show with, but she doesn't sound like the native beast, you know, that beast character. And, you know, sometimes I've also had questions about her physical conditioning in matches. Sometimes seems like she gets blown up, but lately she's had strong promos and in-ring matches. And as a trans athlete, I think she's an important character and should take her role very seriously. And I think if you want to criticize Nyla's performance, like at times I've done on television, I think that's fair game. But anything else is none of anyone else's damn business. Something has been bothering me. And I think this whole thing with Vince and the World Boomer Federation, it's kind of stemmed from an interview that Kenny Omega did. I think it's called CEO Gaming. He did a Twitch stream. And he spoke about the vile treatment that's been online of Riho, Hikaru Shida, Yuko Sakazaki, and Maki Ito. And he said that they came to the US with no idea they would have people so racist against them. And Omega said that when he tries to explain it to them in Japanese, that it's people not worth listening to who's stirred up by podcasters that they can't comprehend it. He says that they train harder 7 days a week in Japan, and there's never an issue with them. But they can't comprehend or understand the level of harassment, both in their wrestling and their looks. And look, if you don't like a wrestler, that's your choice. There are things in life that you like. There are things that you relate to because of your experiences as an individual. I can't force you to like anybody or anything. That becomes groupthink, and that's dangerous too. However, there is a line. I do the Pacific Rim podcast with Fumi Saito, Japan's most respected author, historian, and journalist. And a lot of what we try to do is educate and explain history and certain cultural differences to people. I look at it as like a bridge between cultures. Sometimes I intentionally ask questions, obvious questions, where I already know the answers because I want to get something across. Fumi's passion is education and passing down history. So that's what we try to do. And if you listen, I hope you learn new things. You know, Japan, for example, has idol culture. I don't expect everyone to understand it. But if you watch Riho, she's a great wrestler. Same thing with Hikaru Shida. You don't have to like them. But all of us, as decent people, need to draw a line and stick up for them. You know, you watch Riho. Yeah, she's small. She's slight. But if you watch her wrestling, her body language is extraordinary. Her impact, her stuff connects. She is great in the ring. And a lot of fans, she's won over a lot of fans. Same thing with Makaido. Same thing with Yuka Sakazaki. There will always be differences. I remember the first time I saw the wrestler formerly known as Kagetsu, now known as Ueshino. I'm just going to call him Kagetsu just for the time being, because that's what his name was back then. When I first saw then Kagetsu, I did not. He was a her. I'm going to use the pronoun he because that's his current pronoun. It's when you talk past tense. Look, I'm still older. I'm not that great at this yet, but I'm all for it. So forgive my clumsiness. Let me get that across. It took me a while to completely get him. But once I did, he was brilliant and is brilliant in the ring. I didn't at first understand the dance that the faction did, that Oedo Tai did. That takes time to understand. There are certain things that get lost in various cultures' translations. That's normal. But if you give it more than, 20 seconds, you can figure it out. And that's what I just don't understand with the World Boomer Federation. A lot of things need to be characters and action figures, but they don't need to be boiled down to where only a toddler can understand it. Wrestling can be slightly more complex, which is why I enjoy the way AEW promotes people of different cultures and different ethnicities, different countries. They're not all stereotypes. We have wrestlers who are from India on AEW. You don't see them coming out and, doing stereotypical Indian behaviors. They're just people who happen to be from India. The Bollywood boys, they incorporate their Indian culture, but they're not stereotypes. They just happen to be people of Indian descent. And I wish the World Boomer Federation would get up to speed on that. And if you, as a decent person, see people online or at arenas talking and saying inappropriate things about people like Rio or Yuka Sakazaki, there's a line. If you want to say you don't like Rio's wrestling, that's fine. But there's a line. But we as decent people need to speak up if someone crosses the line talking about Yu Ishino or Nyla Rose or the Bollywood boys or anyone for that matter. Anyone of any different culture. And if you don't like their wrestling, that's one thing. If you think their matches are boring, that's another. If you think their conditioning needs to get better, that's fair game. I'm not saying we need to patronize people and go, oh, aren't you great? Aren't you wonderful? Just because they're different? No. There are still standards of performance. But there's a line as far as talking about people for their lifestyles and who they are. And we, as decent people of all ages, of all races, of all creeds, of all colors, of all religions, of all backgrounds, whether it's online or in the arena, and I wish I could swear right now, we need to shut that stuff down. And let people like Kenny Omega know that we're on his side. Wrestling's great. And it's a big tent. And this tent welcomes everyone. It's Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live, Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
You're clear.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-391-8713. 800-391-8713. 800-391-8713. That's 800-391-8713.
I don't even recognize myself anymore.
I'm really worried about him. His addiction. I haven't seen him like this. Ever.
Hey, look, I never wanted to start using. I knew the drill, but I was out of options.
I just want to tell him it's not your fault. There are people out there who can help. People who have felt your pain. They know what you're going through.
This has to stop. I'm losing everything. Everyone.
You've been strong your whole life. You can do this, but you have to reach out for help.
It's time. I can do this.
Addiction is a disease, and diseases need treatment.
Call Quit Drugs 321 now at 800-378-3508. 800-378-3508. That's 800-378-3508. Paid for by the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Airlines have just reduced their prices even more. Book 30 days in advance and save big.
Want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets? Then call the Low Cost Airlines Travel Hotline right now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. The only way to access our low rates and save up to 70% is to call. Save hundreds on your vacation tickets by calling right now. You can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
It's Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live. You know, Logan Paul, I guess his people want him to be a baby face. I don't know how that's going to work. Good luck to them on that. What's going to happen? I can imagine they're going to pitch backstage. Well, what if we have Miz rip up one of Logan Paul's Pokemon cards? Vince will be like, what's a Pokemon card? Is that like my Babe Ruth baseball card? Someone in the YouTube chat, or no, someone on Twitter rather, asking me about John Cena. Who do you think is the biggest star that Vince missed out on? You know, there's so many. With John Cena coming back, and this is not John Cena's fault at all. John Cena did so many jobs and did his best, and I can't say enough good things about John Cena, but when I think about John Cena, I think about Wade Barrett. And that guy, he's big, he had presence, he has charisma. That guy, when he was in the NWA, talking without a script, he was a great commentator. He's great on NXT. He always says the perfect thing. And I'm like, what did that guy do? What did he do wrong? He's tall. He's good looking. He could have been perfect for the European market. Did he look at someone wrong? Did he cut in front of somebody at catering? I think about that match where all those chairs fell down and buried him literally and figuratively. So Wade Barrett, what a lost talent. I may be here next week, maybe not. We'll figure it out. Hopefully be able to talk to you from Florida. Either way, follow me on Twitter at Jim Valley. Have a great and safe, patriotic weekend. Enjoy Money in the Bank. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live, Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
You're clear.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good one. I'll talk to you next week, and have a good week.
Sounds good. Appreciate it. Bye. All righty. What a show. Am I still there? Hang on a second.
USA Radio News.
Let's kill that connection. There we go. Am I still there? Can you hear me? Am I still there? I think I'm there. Oh, my goodness gracious. Hey. Sorry if I was triggered this week. Tired of the boomers. You know? All right. All right, kids. I'm here. I don't know. Yeah. Alrighty. Everybody have a safe weekend. Stay safe. And yeah, enjoy the World Boomer Federation. We'll see if I can get that to stick. Maybe I've got a new T-shirt. Vince's Boomer Entertainment.